Why? Because there is something missing.
Exactly.
Believe me. Not only that, when you are accustomed to it, as I told you, it is an issue of recharging your battery. Imagine a mobile that now is running out of charge. It will yearn, it will scream and say, please charge me. Every individual who is accustomed to prayer, and the time comes, he will feel that there is something missing because the battery, the recharge is running out of charge. What do? You leave everything and go to pray. The moment you see that, you know that there is a problem of in discipline, and that we as parents are no longer disciplining our children to be accustomed to prayer on time. That is one thing. The second thing is that this world in which we live is a world of action, and every action needs time. You are raising your child, you are teaching your child to be very much anxious, to be very much conscious of time. If you come to the underdeveloped world, our problem is the crisis of time. We don't respect time, partly because we don't respect the time of God.
Exactly.
So once you know that when you are charged to deliver, for example, anything, you have a time limit, then the time limit must be conscious. So this issue of time limit, consciousness of time limit, is also that Allah wants to teach us in Islam. Islam is not a religion of, it's not just a religion, it's a religion and civilization. It's a religion that creates a civilization, a government, economic system, and all these you need to be very conscious of time. And if you are accustomed to time given to you by Allah, you will be also accustomed to the time needed in your work. As long as you don't respect that, you will not respect that. So this is very important. That is why in the Salat kana al mu'minina kitaban mawqutan. And then you pile them up. When you pile them up,
before I go to bed, I will pray.
I'll pray. When you pile them up, you will first of all miss the charging of your battery. Secondly, when you go home, you don't do them right.
Exactly, because you're already tired, exhausted.
You are tired, you are
exhausted.
Is not there. The energy is not there. You don't do it right. Because if you need maybe 5 minutes to do one prayer, or at least 10 minutes, you will lump sum them together and then do them in 5 minutes. And this is where the type of prayer when the Prophet saw that man in the mosque, he says, Salli fa innaka lam tusalli. He prayed and the Prophet said, hey, repeat your prayer because you did not pray. And in a hadith, the Prophet is saying that there are prayers where Allah will just fold them. After you finish, Allah will fold it up and then beat it to you and say you don't pray. Because those who pile them, they think that they are depositing a lot in their bank account. But when they go to the last day, they will discover that there is nothing in the account. Because you keep praying, thinking that you are praying, but you are not praying. So then piling up is very dangerous, and I think people have to be very, they have to avoid that. Not only that, when you pile it up as a parent, can you now tell your child to pray on time?
No, definitely you will not.
No.
Some pile them up or procrastinate them, but then you realize that also some abandon prayer. They do not even pray at all, and yet they call themselves Muslims. And the severity of abandoning prayer is one of the actions that could lead one to enter into hellfire.
Oh, yes.
In Surah Al-Mudashir, Allah is saying, "Masalakakum fi sakar halu lam nakum min al-musallin." What has caused you to enter hell? And they will say, we were not of those who used to pray. Enumerate on abandoning prayer, and you call yourself a Muslim.
You see, those who, that's what I'm telling you, because prayer is the pillar of the pillars. Now, the Prophet ﷺ he said the difference between us and them, meaning between the one who believe in God, between Muslim and a non-Muslim, is prayer. So those who ignore prayer, they are very difficult to be called Muslims.
Yes, they claim they're Muslims.
They are very difficult to be called Muslims. And the scholars have discussed the issue of those who abandon prayer in two types. They said those who abandon prayer or pray from time to time and abandon, if they believe that it is obligatory, but because they are careless, then they are still Muslim, but they are fasiq. And fasiq is the maybe third class Muslim. Imagine fasiq. Because the theology has some rulings. You see, if you abandon action, then you are called fasiq. If you abandon confession of iman, then you are called kafir. That is why it's very difficult for somebody who doesn't pray to claim that he's a Muslim, because it is difficult for us to to prove to people that what he confessed in his heart is there. Because once you confess in your heart that Allah is one, then you must prove that in action.
Exactly.
So then not doing it, you either believe that it is obligatory, but then you are careless, then you are fasiq. And fasiq is very bad. Or you don't believe that it is obligatory, then you are a kafir, then you are outside. That is why when somebody dies, the first thing they will ask is about prayer. And as your point is very valid, it's very, those who abandon prayer, they are very close to hellfire. Why? Because the first thing that you will be asked when we arrive in the last day is about your prayers. When the prayers are correct and proper, then other things are, you will take secondary.
Optimistic about the other thing.
Yes, but when your prayer is not regular,
say we really have to look into other, dig into other issues.
That is why we are definitely encouraging people to raise their children. Let them be accustomed to prayer, because that will protect them, immunize them from falling into the trap. Those who do not pray and abandon their prayer are the people who are very, very easy to be dragged into major and minor sins. And that is why we have to be very careful about the way we raise our children, and also to be very conscious of our prayers and do it on time and do it right.
Do it on time and do it right. On that note, Dr. Omar Dia, Acting Deputy Vice Chancellor at the University of the Gambia, thank you once again for talking to us on Exploring Islam. And like you said, prayer is mandatory, and we must just not unconsciously plunge ourselves into the habit of procrastinating them or abandoning them, as it is well authenticated in the Quran.
Thank you very much, Aisatu, and thank you viewers for having me. See you next time. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
That's all the time we have for you in this edition of Exploring Islam. Until next week, I'm Aisha Tufai. Wa akhiru dawana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Kaf ha ya ayn sad. ذكر رحمة ربك عبده زكريا إذ نادى ربه نداء خفيا قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واستعل الرأس صيبا ولم أكن بدعائك رب شقيا